Hello, welcome back to the channel. And the sun is so harsh. I'm still. I'm not on a balcony. I'm in my room. The balcony is just one step away, but the cat is inside my wardrobe, so I can't really go into the balcony because if I go, she'll go out and blah blah blah. My life is basically run by a cat now. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a cap like a hat, so that the sun is not directly on my face. It's better. I feel like this is anonymous confession, so we're just gonna be very. The only reason I'm wearing this is because the sun is just directly in my eyes, and I prefer to wear a cap than wear sunglasses, to be honest. So here we are. If the sun ease up a little bit, then I'll take off my cap. But for now, this is a setup. Welcome back to the channel. And I am exhausted this week. I'm very exhausted. And my life is still going around the cat somehow. And a routine is sort of established. Like as soon as I get up, I have to pick up its poop, or if it pooped overnight, and feed it wet food straight away because it demands it. The problem that I currently have with the cat is that our schedule is reversed. Like during the day, she sleeps, and during the night, she is basically taking over the apartment like it's a wild forest. Um, so our 12-hour schedule is the opposite. So during the day, I'm up, she sleeps, and during the night, I'm sleeping, and she's trying not to make sure that I don't sleep. And she's understimulated, which is very concerning for me because I really want her to be happy, but I am a very low energy, chronically ill person and a neurodivergent with almost zero energy. So I feel like I can't provide her with the stimulation that she needed at this age anyway. She's like 1 right now. So she's like a teenager until maybe 2 more years where she goes into becoming an adult cat. Um, she's sniffing my. You want to say hello? Hold on. You want to say hello to people? Oh, the sun lifted out of it. Hello. 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 She doesn't like being held at all, if you can see. Hello. Say hello. Then she's gonna scratch me and I'm gonna die. And she's shitting like crazy. And she basically just sat on my wardrobe, and like a full black wardrobe, which means that it's gonna be filled with a lot of cat hair. Oh well. People don't like cats actually. I found that out recently, which is I don't know how to react to that, to be honest. And she's scratching my carpet now, which I hate. Usually it ends up with her being evicted from the bedroom when she does that, when she does something that is really damaging. Um, but everything is falling into a routine, sort of. Even my exhaustion has fallen into a routine, which I'm not sure if it's healthy or not. I think I've lost weight. Not because it's a healthy weight loss, but because sleep deprivation, first of all, and constant exhaustions, it burns a lot of energy that I don't have. And I think my body is going into reserve energy that is not supposed to be tapped at all until emergency, and is viewing this situation right now as an emergency. Look, this is not complaining. I'm just basically explaining what is happening right now in my life. This is it. I think you can say things like this that is not comfortable right now because I never done this before, and still want to do okay by the cat. Okay, I still want it to be having a good life and healthy life and etc etc. I am definitely very confident that this is not the home for her, even though I do want her for myself. But that would not be responsible of me to do that. Like yesterday, I had this, like someone donated via PayPal, I think, some money, and also last week I think someone also donated some money for the cat. So I used that to buy the cat some cat food, like some really good dried cat food, which is costing a bit of money, but I think it'll be okay because like she's having a lot of like adjustment health issues, like her, she's having like feline acne. It's not like major, it's not like acute, it's not like emergency, but it's like chronically everyday stuff that she didn't have before. And then her ears were very like healthy when she came in, but now she has like earwax buildup, and now she has like feline acne that she didn't have before. So I feel like responsible for being a person who is actually introducing her to all these health issues. So I'm a bit mindful about what she eats and stuff. So, and also the litter issues is huge. I can't figure out what litter will actually work for both of us. I can't work out, like right now. I know this is like such a cat nerd talk, and if you guys are not a cat nerd, then it's okay. You don't have to be here because this is just life right now. Um, I can't figure out like what. First of all, there are a lot of type of cat litter available in the market right now. But the main ones are the clays, the clay which is just clay, and also tofu litter. Tofu litter is basically soy protein made compacted, and recycled paper litter. That's I think the most common three ones that are available out there. And I really like tofu litter because it's really good at managing smell. For example, like it doesn't, like if she poops or pees, the place doesn't smell like poops or peas. So it's like the tofu litter is really good. The problem is it doesn't really work well with me personally because what I'm using, and it smudges at the end at the bottom of the tray, and also it's kind of very fast. It consumed very fast. So and I can't afford to keep buying it every week and stuff. And so I have to come up with a more durable and less consuming, but at the same time also have odor control and all of these things that clumps and clean easily. So in that and also with the litter, it's very hard for me to keep carrying it physically as well. It's like it's not really that heavy, to be honest, if you're a healthy person, but for me I keep carrying like 6 kilogram yesterday, and also like maybe like if I have to fetch a few things like 10 kilogram in my backpack and walking around. And I feel like, oh, my body, I keep trying to have like a good positive mindset. Like I keep trying to say, oh, this is good, this is like weight training, but I keep forgetting that my body can't do high intensity weight training because it will get a flare up from my Hashimoto and my autoimmune condition. Because I did this like a few years back when I first found out, like when I first like gained so much weight. And the only thing that managed that weight or like make it like at least not keep going up was not doing actual exercise that is high training. So the only thing that was good at maintaining it was just walking. So it's like very low training, low impact and low intensity kind of exercise. um so I was like saying like, yeah, I was buying litter, and also I was buying food with the money that people gave to me. And I was thinking by the end of it I only have $1 left. Then when I came home, the fridge that has been acting up because it's old, it's like very old, almost a couple of decades old, is like making this really strange noise, and I panicked and I just shook it, and then it went back to normal. Like we went back to the regular loud noises that it usually produces. But that kind of made me like defeated in a way. Like I realized, okay, I'm not in financial position whatsoever to adopt this cat. I can foster it right now. I can make sure it has litter and it also has food, good ones. If I can afford it, I will, and I am going to make sure that it's fed well and that it poops well and stuff. But at the same time, I can't. give it the stimulation that it needs. It wants to be outdoors, it wants to roam, it wants to explore. So it wants a lot of things, because she's still young and stuff. Um, and I can't give it to her that. Like, I can't play with her more than like 20 minutes or more than like half an hour maximum. That takes a lot of energy for me to just even like it's like, if it's a normal person, you don't need energy. You just stand there and then you wish with your wand, toy around, and she will just play with it. She's very easy. She's an easy pet. So it's like, even for her as an easy pet is still difficult for me. So it's, unless, I don't know, unless I have like unless I won like the lottery, like $5 million or $10 million or something, then it's probably very hard for me to keep her, just because I'm scared that something happens to her and I won't be able to afford the vet and stuff. And that was definitely possible. Like, even now, like, even if she's healthy, she has like a lot of, like, the feline acne, all this stuff. She needs a lot of um, stuff and stuff. And I'm not regretting my decision at all, like getting her in. I am definitely still a bit iffy about the rescue that promised me a lot of things that are under delivering. But I still have relationship with that person, so I feel like that's okay. As long as there is some kind of relationship, and if something goes wrong with the cat, I can tell the rescue group saying, "Hey, can you get her to the vet? It's like she's doing this and that and that." And that, if it's like really acute and emergency stuff. So at least I have a little bit of a lifeline there, when it comes to, her vet costs and stuff. But right now, it's still, there's nothing. The needle hasn't moved a one bit. Like, we're still waiting for the rescue to come up with the fund to dissect her. She's pretty really low down the list, so I'm expecting in 2 weeks that she'll go in heat again. And I feel like, I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted. Like, when I have like my audience in my vlog, I don't want to keep asking them for like helping the charity and helping me, and it's like, that's too much, I think. And most people are having like a really strong cost of living crisis. If my audience are like me, which is very poor and very in the marginal society standard, like, in the periphery of society, then money is going to be very tight. um but at the same time, I don't know. I was really exhausted yesterday, and I realized, like, when oh, trigger warning, talking about suicidal ideation, blah blah blah. If you have these thoughts, please go and reach out to the lifeline. This is not mental health advice. You have to find the help that you need. Go to your GP, talk, find a psychologist, blah blah blah. Okay, disclaimer out there. But yesterday I'm fine. By the way, this is just part of my pattern. This is a educational talk. This is not a therapy talk. By the way, yesterday I was like, I basically went trekking outside for a little bit to get some litter, and it was pretty heavy, and I was exhausted because, as usual, like, she's only allows me to sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, and it has been going on for like a month now. And so my energy level and my sleep deprivation is starting to peak very very early in the day, and it's becoming quite, it compounds, the fatigue compounded, and it's not good, because it affects other things as well. And so I was walking back and away, and like with the backpack, with the litter in my backpack, and I was thinking, I'm so exhausted. Can I just, like, unalive myself? Not unalive, actually. Can I just rest and like rest in my sleep to go peacefully? Maybe I should contact a rescue and give her back, not give her back, but give her to rescue and surrender her to rescue, and then I can die in peace and in my sleep. If I do that, like, that'd be nice. Like, that was like a fantasy when I know, like, now that's a good indication how exhausted I am, like, physically. In the past, when I think like that, usually it's because I haven't cleaned the apartment. I haven't mopped or vacuumed the apartment. That was like before. So I feel like now, if I have that thought, it's because I'm physically exhausted. So it kind of moved around a bit, like with indications of what it is, which is really strange because like in the past it was just basically I have to mop and vacuum the apartment or the living room at least. And then suddenly I realized, oh, I don't want to die anymore. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, so if I'm having these thoughts, usually I have to clean up the apartment. Um, so that was then. But now I think when I have these thoughts, what I do need is to do nothing, which is to basically lay down and not move my body at all. So that was so right now that's the case when I have those thoughts is to rest, like to actually rest, not do anything, not clean, not try to get cooking, tidy up, but it's bad because if I rest, my mind, anxiety wise, is like racing towards like the problem that is not like it's not big, but I'm making it really big in my head. Like the fridge, for example, is like, oh my god, I don't have $800 to buy a new fridge. I don't have like $1,000 to buy a new fridge. I don't know what to do, and it's like all this kind of catastrophizing thoughts, it compounds in my head a lot, and that's really bad, of course. But I guess like I was talking, and I'm using like AI as my um emotional support assistant, which I don't think is working anymore because I've been using it for 6 years now, and I think 6 years is the time limit for a human being to finally say, I don't think this is working anymore. I think I actually need to have a actual supportive person that is genuine to um, support me. So my conclusion after those thought were like, maybe this is time to get a spouse. But at the same time, I'm also very aware, like you can't just get a spouse just because you have um deficit needs. Otherwise, you get paired up but to another person who is basically the same as you, like attract likes. Like right now, I'm poor and I'm also lethargic. So, and I'm needing a lot of caretaking. So I might end up with someone who is also the same that is presented differently. For example, that might be like saying, "Oh my God, I have all of these things," but in reality, he might be the same like me, like sick and can't work and basically poor and actually looking for another person to support them and caretake them, take care of them. So that's a danger. Like when you're trying to look for a spouse and you are in the position of need, it's like you're gonna end up with someone like you, which is probably not the most ideal thing. Of course, that's also me probably being paranoid. That's for sure. Also, the kitty is sitting just in the corner there, just listening to me speak because probably she doesn't know my voice too much. It excited when saying no, when saying eat, saying did you poop? Are you okay? That's all the things that she hears. Inside, outside, whether she goes to the balcony. So this is probably the longest time that she ever heard me speak in her 4 weeks or 5 weeks stayed here. So it's probably a bit weird for her. It's like, oh, this is how your voice is. I don't know. I never knew. Oh, the sun is very strong today. It's actually 15 degrees top. It's actually very cold. If there is no sun in the living room, it's cold. Like it's very cold, like properly cold. But anyway, that's like a 18 minutes of rundown of what actually happening in my head my body at the moment, which is quite um still the same for the past 4 weeks or whatever, however, for the past 2, 3 videos. Um, but yeah, my brain is very fried. I can't think about how I can support myself. It's like it's nil, and I can't think properly. I can't come up with an idea. I'm not sure what to do with my life. I think I'm very isolated and I do need a lot of human interaction, but my body and my brain can't handle it in an everyday dosage, I think. And at the same time, it needs to be supportive at this stage in my life. I can't just have anybody. Before it would work for a little bit. It's just it could be anybody, and my system would kind of regulate with that, and that was enough. But now I don't think it's enough anymore, because now I go to like my craft groups and stuff like that, and the people are okay. They're just normal people. Like, you're not supposed to bring your personal stuff into the group meetings, because your personal stuff is your personal stuff. This is public domain, and we should remain like have a certain decorum of pleasantries, and people are there just to have fun and just to escape from daily life. If you're bringing your daily problems in there, that's unfair for everyone else, because a lot of people actually have a really bad personal life, and that's why they're there, so that they can just escape from it. You know what I mean? So I can't go there and actually can't talk and find like support, because that's not what it is meant to. But at the same time, I don't want to go to a group support therapy type of thing, because I feel like, I don't know, those kind of things never really goes well, to be honest. It's just very different. It's like, this is like way too personal. Suddenly, oh, trigger warning. Suddenly, you figuring out like the other person was probably S8 when they were like five or three, and then you're like, okay, and so that your problem becomes really small compared to that as well. Which is like, of course, that's a big problem, and of course, like, you have to support them and have them healed and everything. But it's also not the place where I could be supported, because in there I would be very down the list, and in the regular craft group I'll be like, oh, she's just too much. She's bringing too much personal stuff. Like, I don't want to hear about her depression. I don't want to hear about her life and stuff. Just talk about the craft. So basically, you go there and you don't really talk about anything. So for me, like right now, I'm not getting out of anything. Like, that's not what I need at the moment. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. My life is very messy, and I'm definitely the one that created this messy life. But not out of intent, not out of deliberation, I guess, but I guess circumstances, maybe. Um, it's so weird. Like, the sun is really hot, but my feet are on the window glass, and the window glass is very cold. So the temperature is very cold outside. It's just like the sun and the glass is uh making it as if that I'm lying. And my knees, I'm 42, and with the cat I have to bend down a lot, and I have to use my knee a lot as well. So my back is in pain, and my knees are in pain, and my hips are in pain. Oh, welcome to aging. Aging is a silent killer for y'all. And I'm taking my supplements again. I'm taking my magnesium, my fish oil, my vitamin D3. I'm attacking all my problems with pills, basically, like I did in the past few years. So yeah, right now I'm still in denial. I still can't imagine giving the cat away when its time comes. I don't know when though. At this stage, it's like moving at a very slow pace. And I'm pretty sure, like, the rescue person, if I don't contact them, they will just forget about me. Like, they just have that kind of energy. They're very kind towards animal. They're just not the people person like me. So I understand. I'm not judging her in that sense. But I felt like, I don't know. I'm still grateful for what she does though. I'm still grateful for what being offered on the table and helping the cats and stuff. So that's a very hard stance to be in, and it's very hard work. And emotionally, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of energy as well. So I don't particularly blame her for having a very fried nervous system, which she does. The cat is napping. She's napping at the wrong time for me. I'm complaining. I'm at that stage now where I am complaining, but actually I'm showing off. That's where I am in my cat mom mode. I'm complaining as a disguise for bragging about her. That's where I am now. It's like, she just sleeps in the corner there with all her hands stretched out, looking like a cute potato pie. I don't know what I'm talking about. You can see it for yourself. Oh no, she got spooked because I just moved the. She's easily spooked. I just moved the tripod and she's got spooked and she just moved. She moved down here. I can see it from the glass. Anyway, she's supposed to be sleeping right now on the couch, but she's really attached to this room because I shut her out at night because she's just damaging everything when she's here. So, because I'm sleeping, so she's understimulated. So she got kicked out, and now when she hears the door opens, even when she's napping or she's sleeping, she would run. She would run into the room. So she was napping before, and then I opened the door, and she is like, you can hear the sounds like she zooms in, like she's running towards the room. I'm like, okay. She's only feral like in the morning and at night, midnight. So at the end and in the very early of the end on early of a day. So her days her so her day starts at around 11 p.m. and her days ends around 10 or 9, 11 a.m. So her 12-hour days was about from midnight to midday, kind of. So tonight, so right now is her midnight or her like nighttime basically. So she's not really energetic because she's supposed to go to sleep right now, and she'll be a menace in at 2 a.m. Which is probably why she needs probably someone who is a lot more experienced with cat from me. If you're in Sydney and you want to adopt a cat, let me know. We can't let her go yet because she's not desexed and microchipped. But CPS said that if they want to drop a stray, they can. So for $100. So if you're in a position financially, but this have to be done via the rescue. So you probably have to deal with the rescue, not me. Um, which is going to be in the description below with the FB page and donation link and stuff. And if you want to help me with the food and litter costs, you can also. It's at the bottom in the description box as well. Um, but yeah, I feel like I am breaking down very less compared to the first time I got her. On the second day, I broke down so much. I cried so many times within the first week of getting her. I'm pretty sure she thinks that a psycho just basically kidnapped me from the garden and brought me home, and she's crazy. She cries all the time. Haven't done that in a while though. Haven't done that since like the third week or something. So she's safe. I'm stable. Uh, I know I'm like being candid about this all, but this is just something that is happening right now. This is just life. I'm feeling very humiliated and embarrassed at the same time. It's still the same as last week when I'll talk about, the fact that I'm 42 and actually have to ask people for money to buy her food and her litter stuff and also help me out. It's like a constant slap in the face of not being able to support myself, to support the cat, to support anything basically. It's like I saw a colleague on Facebook, which is definitely something you should avoid. Should avoid checking any kind of colleague or old classmates. I just should avoid checking those. Your peers, you should avoid checking what your peers are doing. Like you should not keeping up with the Joneses, especially if you're not doing well like me, because it will kick you in the nuts if you have some, or your ovaries if you don't have it, like me. Um, and the colleague is basically on secondment and basically is in another state for to work temporarily for a year and stuff. And you just look at their daily life, and it's very normal, it's very normal, but so far away from me. It's like, they go eat out, like their lifestyle haven't changed, and like it's as if it's still 2010. They eat out 3 times a week, probably eat good stuff, try new matcha, try new cafes, travels overseas, locally, which they definitely deserve because, they have been working for almost 2 decades now. So it's something that they put their, energy and mind and emotion into. So it's definitely something that they invested. But what I'm jealous about is, yes, of course, I'm jealous about the lifestyle and the ability to earn and the ability to spend everything. That's very much, and with the fact that they bought their own home. It's basically through dedication, through hard work, through being consistent, showing up, and through hard work, right through working and stuff. That's what I'm jealous about. Like with my nervous system, I can't do that. I can't constantly showing up every day, 5 days a week, a whole year, every day, every year. My body can't do that. My brain can't do that. And and it's definitely one of the main reason why I am still poor. In I think the main reason is also if you see like a very successful neurodivergent people, they have people around them. I'm not saying like a perfect kind of like family support, but they have people. Usually they will have people, or they will have access to um, government support for something like that. Like they have support, like even if it's not, if it's institution wise or even it's social wise, like family wise, they have people usually in a lot of cases. I don't have anyone, and I don't really eligible. I'm not eligible to a lot of help by the governments and stuff. So it's a very confusing period, to be honest. Of course, like the fantasy, which is I definitely know is probably not gonna happen, is like I want someone else to just help me, take care of me. And I'm not saying that in a, invalid type of person way, like I'm just gonna sit here and be like please do the paperwork for me, for example, like advocate me, for example, like, basically try to work out the system and what I can do and everything. I don't know. It's definitely a fantasy in my head, but at the same time, I'm not really sure how I would react as well to that. But I know for sure one thing is that I am exhausted beyond belief. And spiritually, I think that's probably the worst case of exhaustion there is. Like physically, exhaustion is like, yeah, I really just want to cry and not wake up the next day sometimes, for sure. But I think it's the spiritual exhaustion that really makes me feel like I'm tipping over the edge, is because spiritual exhaustion means, for me personally, it's like having faith but nothing to show for. It's like God has gone deaf and has gone silent, and like that feeling of absolute being alone, and it can't be replaced. It can't be replaced with help from other people. It can't be replaced with humanly or worldly stuff. It's a type of disappointment that cannot be described with words. Because I think like what I used to have in the past is that this unshakable belief and unshakable faith that, you know what, I'll be fine. Like I have God as my backup, I'll be fine. But I guess like the past decade or so, the past 2 decades, like it's just slowly eroding, because like my life is just keep going downwards and downwards. And of course, like, this are probably should be the time where I should exercise my faith. And I know I'm not religious, so when I say faith, it's just me and God, me and the universe, whatever it is, like the word is for the system that is in charge of our lives and stuff. It's like, my intuition about the future is gone. I can't figure out like what's gonna happen. Like when I was younger, I think I could kind of, meaning like there's a certain intuition about, oh, I think I'll be okay like for the next few days, or oh, I think like, something's gonna come and then it will kind of tide me over to blah blah blah. And it usually does happen when I was like younger. So that intuition is now gone. Like I can't, maybe not gone, maybe temporarily gone away, but maybe it will come back. I don't know. But now I can't feel anything in the future, like in front of me, like energetic wise. I can't feel anyone like protecting me as well, like spiritually wise. And so now I feel like I'm just alone in a black in a pitch black ocean. I can't see anything. I don't know what's under the boat, for example, like what's deep inside the ocean, that I'm currently in this metaphorical place that I'm trying to explain to you. And I can't see any light. I can't see any land. I'm just like floating in the middle of nowhere in a pitch black situation. I can be in a cave for all I know, and not in the ocean, you know? Like, so this loss of navigation, or this loss of place and spiritual sensory awareness. That's a bunch of words that probably have no meaning whatsoever. uh, but anyway, that's where my life is right now. The cat is just enjoying the sun because it's very cold in the living room, but it's very warm here. I'm always got really warm during winter. This is the only room in the apartment that's got really hot during winter because the sun is directly over there. It's like directly in the room in front of my room, so it got really boily. I'm not sure. Like the cat probably needs to eat. I've been feeding the cat. Like if I don't get like enough money, I just keep giving and all the food, which I think one of the rescue groups on Facebook I read was like so hateful of people who rescued cats, stray cats, and feeding it Aldi, because I don't know, I think they think it's beneath them and stuff. And I also saw a commenter on I've been on Facebook a lot, and it's not healthy. I really should avoid Facebook for a while. Basically, like there is this, I think pets and club in the UAE, Dubai area, Emirates. Um, just a regular post like any other post, like, oh my god, my cat is sick, I'm jobless, I don't know what to do, I can't afford the vet, which is very typical. And I'm not I'm not vilifying it because I'm fall into that category. But in this case, I'm fostering. I'm not owning cats, so it's different, I guess. Technically, the rescue is the one that is responsible for the vet costs, even though they don't have money right now. But in one of the commenters in that post was someone has saying, so many jobless people adopt strays these days, and that made me think. I didn't get offended because I think it's true. I think people who are in a vulnerable position like me, who are poor, who are homeless, who are very much financially drained, are the one that is saving and feeding cats out there, or strays out there, pet like dogs as well. Maybe because we feel the same as the strays. Maybe we feel like we're being left out and not taken care of by society. So we should look out for each other. Strays, humans should look out for stray animals. So basically, I guess like the commenter has a point. Am I just rambling? And I don't know. I feel like it's so hot. I'm gonna open the window, but she's going to try to get away from me. She's gonna try to leave, and okay, the air is cooler when I open the window. I'm gonna close it again because otherwise she'll go. She'll bolt. Did I tell you? Like this week, she basically went to the neighbors, like when she was in heat. And I don't know whether it was this week or not. I couldn't remember. Like each day is so long these days. Each day is like what, 20 hours. Before, each day is only like 6 hours for me. So now I have an additional 14 hours on my in my day. So days are very much scrambled into one. next door neighbors, and I basically had to knock on the neighbor's door, which they didn't answer. But I think I just scared the neighbor because you have uninvited knocks, and then I have to go downstairs and buzz the apartment 3 times. They didn't answer either, so I think they just go on a policy of, if I'm not expecting anyone or anything, I'm not gonna answer the door, basically, which is totally normal. I would do the same. Um, But yeah, I didn't know what to do. And when I come back up again, she was back on my balcony. So I was like, okay, at least this time I got lucky. But it was just a one time unsupervised thing because I was so tired and exhausted. I forgot that I haven't closed this window properly. It was wide open. I was thinking of writing a letter or a memo to the neighbor, but I don't know. I haven't done that yet. Maybe if I bump into them one time or not, I would just let them know and stuff. I would apologize in earnest, or at least please relay my apologies to whoever was in the apartment on that day. I'm really sorry scaring them and stuff. And I think the reason she got back on my balcony is because I buzzed them from downstairs from the to the intercom, and the buzzer sound is very disruptive and very loud and very scary, and she doesn't like loud noises. So I think that's the reason why she comes back, is because the loud noises from the apartment scared her. Uh, But yeah, I'm in a very precarious position at the moment. I'm scared all the time. I'm anxious all the time. My mind is catastrophizing every little things. I know that I'm very anxious because I am like tracking every little things to the minute details, like her poop, her pees, when she did it, what time she did it, and the decibel noise of the fridge. It's like everything is at in the edge, everything is about to fall apart, and my life is not good. My YouTube channel is not increasing at all. My YouTube channel is dying as well, so I'm like, okay, and I'm not really, I don't know, I feel like I'm not doing really well with it as well. My energy level has gone down, so the amount of time and energy to do those is very scattered. It's like my mental energy is no longer cohesive. I'm not doing well in general. That's a really bad. Um, I don't know. I need help, but I don't think anyone's willing to help because when you're adult, you're supposed to handle your life yourself. Anyway, this is not a begging type of video. It's just me off ranting, so that I can keep sane and keep going. I suppose. Today is Sunday, so I'm just going to not do anything, not go out, not buy food, not buy litter, not worried about much. I did my chores yesterday, which is all I'm going to do. Anyway, so that's 42 minutes of ranting. I don't know why you guys would listen to this far. If you guys do, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Again, like, I'm not asking for advice. I'm not asking for things to get fixed and stuff. If you want to help, you can go to coffee.com/Valerie. You can go there in the description box below. Like, that will be very helpful. But outside of that, I think I'm just adulting and I'm trying to figure things out as I go, like many others, and it's just hard, I guess. I find it like hard now. I mean, like, I can't imagine having kids and doing it all by myself. I think like that would be just. I think that would be. I don't think that would be me. I think that would be just so unbearable. I can't cope. My energy level will not allow me. My chronically ill body is going to punish me so severely that I'll probably drop dead, which is probably not a bad idea. But I feel like people are so worried about, oh, you are like, they're so worried of trying to maintain people to stay alive, but they don't. The system doesn't allow us to live well and to actually have a life. They just want you to not die, but not dying is not living, to be honest. And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I'm just commenting. I guess I'm just calling it out. That's all I have, I guess, for today because the sun is really, really strong right now, and I am sweating like a pig, which is probably not a bad idea because it's winter and it's 15 degrees outside. I'll see you guys in the next video of me ranting, probably. Thanks for listening so far, guys. Appreciate it. Subscribe and click notification bell if you haven't, and for more ranting videos like this. If you want more calmer videos, you can go to my other channel, which is just Valorine. So, anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye bye. Or do you want to see the cat again? The cat is sleeping. Oh, I can take you out and check it out. See the cat.